Hey everybody, it's Parker. I just wanted to give a quick PSA before this episode starts. We originally decided to record it as a mini chat, but there's a lot to say about Pokemon Sword and Shield, so we kept going and we kept talking. So it ended up being a lot longer than we thought, so we decided we'd make it this week's podcast. On another note, after we recorded this, this past weekend, there have been just there's a ton of new information, tons of new leaks, just a bunch of new stuff has come out about Pokemon. Reviews are starting to come out, so we are going to do a retrospective video. This is kind of your insight into what we were thinking before the major spoilers started coming out. So there's a bunch of new information. Take this video with a little bit of a grain of salt. But we think it's a good one, and we're excited about it. So we hope you enjoy, and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mini Chat. It's Trexsol along with Parker.
Hey.
And we're going to do a little field test. This is the week of the Pokemon Sword and Shield launch. And we thought, we would just have a conversation about how we're both feeling, because we both kind of feel a little bit differently. I thought it'd be interesting to get both sides of the coin on this one. And then you guys can chime in as well in the comments down below.
Yes.
But Parker, how you feeling about Pokemon?
Really, really upset. Like so upset that I can't put it into words. I'm just
We'll try.
well, good point. I have played Pokemon since Pokemon Blue version. I've played every single one except I missed a couple of the mystery dungeons. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, those were good.
As far as what people would consider the mainline series go, as far as that goes, I'm a major fan. I love it to death. This game is such a slap in the face that I can't even believe that people are going to pay money to buy it.
Oh wow.
And I honestly I'm dead serious when I say that. And like I guess I don't judge anybody that wants it. But I do label those people as enablers, because if you buy this, you're allowing Game Freak to put this out. And they're going to say, "Oh, people bought this game. This is okay." Anyway, so I'm not excited. You're excited though, right?
I wouldn't say excited. I'm cautiously optimistic, usually how I am with any game that I look forward to. I think that kind of the difference can come between what I look for in a Pokemon game and maybe what you look for. So I'm gonna ask you, what are you looking for in this Pokemon game that just isn't there? What's letting you down?
So what's letting me down is the fact that it doesn't look that good, right? I know that's shallow. I mean, like, I'm not a graphics whore. Like, I don't care if a game is the prettiest thing I've ever seen. I don't care if a game, looks like the next big thing, I wasn't expecting major things out of Pokemon. Frankly, there are a lot of Switch games I don't think look very good anyway, but like, I wasn't expecting it to look like goddamn Ocarina of Time in the background. I wasn't expecting those trees. I wasn't expecting floating Steelix. I wasn't expecting it to like feel like a 3DS port. So I was expecting more graphically. I was expecting more attention to detail. As far as the Pokemon models went, I just wanted it to feel like a new game. It feels like the textures are textured the exact same as a 3DS game. It just feels like what we're getting is a 3DS game. And I'll go into more reasons why it feels like that, I guess, later on. But when a game like Pokemon, one of the biggest things that Nintendo puts out every year, when a game like that comes out, I expect Breath of the Wild level first entries, right? Because the first Legend of Zelda entry was Breath of the Wild on the Switch, right? The first major Mario entry was Odyssey. Luigi's Mansion, another major series for Nintendo. That's a Game of the Year contender, as far as I'm hearing. The first Fire Emblem game completely redefined Fire Emblem and it's a Game of the Year contender. All these things have been Game of the Year when they come out, because Nintendo and the developers put the time in to make the first mainline appearance of their franchise special. And that's not what we're getting. And so I was expecting something that made the formula special and made it different, but nothing about this seems different enough to me. It's another, 30-hour Pokemon game with 80 new mons with a gimmick.
Interesting.
I'm just so mad. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I just
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm so mad.
Let it out. Let it out. So I have seen that a lot, that, you know, people kind of akin this to, they wish that it was kind of a Breath of the style remake of the Pokemon series, where they just kind of redefine the series all in one. I've always found that to be weird, because while Breath of the Wild was a good game, it was also a very shallow game.
Oh yeah, God, I like Breath of the Sleep, man.
Yeah, like there wasn't much to do other than the shrines and whatever other side things that they sent you on.
Yeah.
So I feel like people like look at that game with rose-colored tinted glasses or whatever.
Right.
As far as
And
Mario
for the
Odyssey,
record, I'm sorry. I don't like Breath of the Wild. I just wanted to throw that one out there. Like, I know it a lot of people like it. That's why I was anyway.
yeah.
Keep going.
I kind of feel the same with Mario Odyssey. It's just another collectathon Mario game, honestly, to me, with a gimmick of, you know, the cap. So, Nintendo, I feel, is always gonna Nintendo. They have their mainstays of games, and I feel like so far they've played it ultimately really safe. You even mentioned Fire Emblem, and I almost want to say Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS was a better game than Three Houses. While Three Houses was great, it wasn't anything different than what they've already put out.
I mean, it's not a Fire Emblem video, but I as somebody that never cared about Fire Emblem at all, Three Houses, like the Persona style IRL stuff was, you know, that was enough for me to care, like, about a game. I feel like they changed, like, they tweaked it, you know? They don't have to do something drastically different. But, like, all those games that you're talking about definitely looked a lot better and played a lot smoother than most of the other entries in the series, you know? Except also, I've never liked Breath of the Wild's art style. I'm just going to throw that one out there. Like, this is just the video of unpopular opinions for me. I didn't want Pokemon to, like, be some game-changing... I didn't want Sword and Shield to, like, be a complete game changer. I just wanted it to improve upon things. And it doesn't... It is not improving upon things. As far as what I've heard and as far as what the leaks are saying. It just doesn't seem like an improvement. It just seems like another one.
Gotcha. I'll have to kind of disagree there. So... okay, we're not going to spoiler territory yet. This is something Nintendo's already, like, released a trailer for and everything. They have implemented into the game. So one of the things that I like about Pokemon is obviously capturing the Pokemon, but the second aspect of it for me was competitive battling.
Yeah.
I feel like in order to get into the competitive battling in other games, you have to go through so many freaking hoops. People eventually just resorted to going to Pokemon Showdown, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just so much easier to do it. Or they just hacked Pokemon in, because, like, having to egg breed and then do IV, EV training and get the right modesty or whatever the fuck it is. It's just a pain in the ass.
I was so into it, though. I was so into it. Like, and that's also the thing is, like, I understand that, right? Like, that's always been an issue. And it seemed like the hardos never wanted to change what everybody else has been like, God damn it, like, I gotta do all this stuff, you know? Like,
yeah.
The game has been catering to... It hasn't been catering to casual players in that respect for a long time, and I agree with you.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, with all this stuff, it's not hard to do. It's just the process of doing it is just very tedious. After you finally get the Pokemon that you like, you have to level it up. And then you have to do that for 5 other Pokemon to make a party. And it's just very tedious. Nothing about it is a feature, I want to say. It's just there to prolong the gaming experience and kind of, like, drive you nuts at the same time. Anyways, so Nintendo released the trailer. All this stuff is kind of rectified in this game. They have, instead of rare candies that level up your Pokemon 1 level, they have experience candies. So it just gives your Pokemon experience. So you could, like, level up level 1 Pokemon to level 20 with an experience candy, whereas it would, like, level up once to a level 60 Pokemon. They also gave you the ability to change your Pokemon's modest. What is it called? The identity, the modesty.
It's not their
AC.
ability. It's their nature.
Yeah, the nature.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you catch a modest Pokemon, you can change its nature to better suit a competitive feel. They've changed how protein, calcium, all that stuff works. So before you can only like use a max of 10, and then you'd have to go IV or an EV train.
Right.
Now you can just like, max out your Pokemon stats and like have it. They just made competitive battling super easy to get into, which was so hard for me to figure out as a young boy to figure out how to get into it.
You know what they've done is they've made just like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but the Pokemon version. You can just buy everything. Like if I can just find those items or farm those items, like I don't know, like that just seems like that I like what you don't want to level Pokemon. One thing.
Level them, yeah.
I mean, like you gotta level them, but like that seems like so cheater pants to me. Like the one thing that I mean, like and hey, if, again, let me just say this, like if that's going to get a lot of people into competitive battling, that's cool because competitive has been dying, and I think it's for all the reasons you're saying. But like, as I don't know, somebody that's gone through that a couple times, it's just like I felt like I really earned the team, and I hate to like be on EA's side about that one, but I really feel like I earned the team because I put in the time and I felt connected to the team of Pokemon. And I don't care how stupid that sounds, but like if you're playing Pokemon, you're role playing a little bit. Let's get real. Like I felt so in tune with my team because I knew everything about them. I don't know. It's just like that's part of it to me, I guess. It's just like I feel like they're stripping down the series that I love.
I don't think they're stripping it down other than just providing an easy mode to it. I'm sure that like the old way you can still do it to get the Pokemon you want. If that's like something you look forward to in a Pokemon game is doing that grind, I'm sure you can still do it. But I think that they just added these other features to allow more people to get into it because, like you said, competitive has been dying, and it's a pain to get into, honestly.
Yeah, I think these catch-up features are good in games in general, right? Like, I'm bitter about this game, but I do see the merits of some of the things that they're adding, right? I just think on the whole, the game is just a horrible pile of garbage. But like this system does sound like an overall good thing to me because people are the audience in general is just getting older. And as people, it's not necessarily for like the 9-year-olds, right? Because I've met some 9-year-olds that play Pokemon like at tournaments that are just god tier so good, and they're 9. Like
they have all the time in the world. They don't have a job.
Exactly, they don't have a job. They don't go to school. They don't do all this stuff. So like, for people like us that like don't have as much time to play video games as we would like, these kinds of catch-up mechanics are good, and I will probably take full advantage of them when the game goes on sale for $3. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good, and I think we're going to see it in more games going forward. But this is not my major problem with Pokemon, honestly, right now. Like, and I don't even care about Dexit too much, Like, I don't care about the whole like. There's 400 Pokemon in the game. Like, I don't care about that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't affect me either.
It doesn't bother me because like, okay, fine, I'll play with your new Pokemon, right? I don't give a shit. Like, it's Pokemon, I'll play it. Like, it's the systems in the game that I care about. It's not, the way my ground type Pokemon looks, right?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to even out the stats and stuff, and like, I mean, I miss Garchomp. I do. I'm going to miss Garchomp this year, but Garchomp was OP. Like, everybody used Garchomp. Everybody used Rayquaza. Everybody had a Groudon. Like, everybody had everything. It's cool to reset that. I don't like that Game Freak is lying to us, right? They just fundamentally are, and I'm ranting here. I know I am. But we're being lied to, and it bothers me.
What are they lying about?
Well, so the whole problem that I have with this, like, I don't care that, like, they only have 400 Pokemon, but don't tell me that the reason you have 400 Pokemon is because, we need to take more time to make the game look better. Like, the game doesn't look better. So obviously nobody, like, it looks like a 3DS game. Obviously your team has not put any extra effort in that they don't normally do, right? You're telling me this game's been in development for like longer than a 3DS game, and all you came up with was 80 Pokemon? Really? Like, and they say, we had to remake 90. Well, okay, yeah, 90 Pokemon. Okay. I mean, it's 10 more, right? Like, it sounds like, a group of like 20 people came together and they were like, well, I came up with 4 ideas. Oh, I came up with 4 ideas. And everybody came up with like 4 ideas and they shoved them in the game, right? I don't care about that stuff either. What I care about is the excuse, right? It's easy to like take an old Pokemon model, hit one button, scale it up, export it at a higher resolution, and attach it however you're supposed to attach it in the game engine. Like, I do this stuff as an animation student all the time, right? As a student, I can do that work. It's what they've said to me doesn't add up. They haven't taken the extra time to do all the stuff they said they've taken the extra time to. What I think is happening is Game Freak just doesn't care about the mainline series in the same way that they used to. I won't say any more. I'm just saying I don't think they care about it the same way they used to. And I think that what we're seeing is this is really like sad to me, right? I think what's happening is I should get all this off my chest, I guess. They're killing this franchise, or they're killing this series to make Let's Go their new main series because they were so jazzed about that and it sold so well. And it's easy to make that. I think that they're moving more towards the Let's Go and Pokemon Go style of things. Just in general as a company, I think that's what the Pokemon company is doing. I think Game Freak had more fun making that game. I think they were more excited about selling it. And I think what we're seeing is the changing of the guard as far as just like Pokemon the franchise goes. I think what they're trying to do is kill the mainline series, make it not as engaging, so that people go, it was okay. Oh, another Let's Go. Hey, at least it was colorful and it looked different, you know. And so they'll pick up next year's Pokemon Let's Go Johto. I know that's happening. Like that has to be happening. It just feels like, you know, when you're trying to break up with somebody, but you don't want to be the one to do it. But they're not really doing it either. And so then you both like sit around for like 3 weeks or like 3 months or 3 years, and you're just like both sitting there, and eventually you just become two miserable people that don't want to pull the trigger and just end it. That's what's happening with Game Freak right now. And mark my words, like we will, like that's it. That's what's happening. The end. I'm sorry, I had to do the whole rant. You were gonna say something earlier, or what do you think about that? Like how I don't know. I'm just so upset, you guys.
I mean, obviously they're going to do a Let's Go Johto and whatever comes after that. I think that kind of goes without saying.
Oh yeah.
I will say, I kind of disagree with you about Game Freak not caring about the mainline series, just because, to me anyways, it seems like they're incorporating new features that they've never done before with the Pokemon games, and if they didn't care, they would just release the same game that they release Sun and Moon. They would just re-release that with a different skin on it. From what I've seen and what I can gather, the online area where you like the wild area or whatever, where you go with your friends,
The dark zone.
yeah, they've already said like so like for the first month that the game comes out, you're gonna encounter the Dynamax Butterfree or whatever in the wild zone more often than like other Gigantamax, whatever the fuck.
I told you not to say those words, man.
But it seems to me like they're gonna they're testing and experimenting with the online service of it and seeing like almost making a live service. So they're gonna have like events in the wild area, and it's something new, and it's something that people have been asking for in a Pokemon game, to like run around with your friends in an open area with wild Pokemon everywhere. It's something people have been asking for, and they finally put it in the game. I can't see them doing that if they just didn't give a shit about the game coming out.
I mean, like, that sounds like cool, but we're gonna do that for like a week, and then it's gonna like that's it. Like, and maybe like, oh, it's snowing in the game. That means that we'll see Obama Snow. If he's wait, is Obama Snow even in the game? Probably not, right? My thing is just like, I don't know. I mean, like that. Oh no, wait. Yep, he is. All right, I'm sold. Yeah, I'll buy the game. No. I mean, like that'd be cool, but it's like there isn't enough variety within the Pokemon, right? Like I don't know, like I don't know, like it just it doesn't seem like there's gonna be enough to do. Like yeah, it's gonna be cool, and you can catch different things in different weather, but it's like to what end? Like how long can that actually last?
So here's the thing, right? The person went through. So okay, we're gonna kind of get into leak territory here.
Spoiler alerts.
All the stuff that has come out so far. The game's out in the wild. Someone's played it through. That's how we know that there's 400 Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Right.
So this is kind of like my wants of the game and like why I'm cautiously optimistic still. So like I said, they're trying new things with the online arena, and this is kind of like what I hope comes out of it. Is that okay, after the month that Butterfree is like exclusive out in the wild, whatever, then they'll like put a new Pokemon in, and it's gonna be a Pokemon that's not in the Pokedex, and you can get it out in the wild now. Surprise! And I know you've told me they've never done this before, and but they've also never done the online thing before. They're doing a lot of things that they've never done before, and that's kind of like They never said that all the Pokemon in the game is it.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, not all the Pokemon in the game is it. Oh, like they've never said that like 400 is their max.
Oh, there's only 400 Pokemon. That's it. That we're not doing anything else. I mean, for frick's sake, Mewtwo isn't in the game. They don't miss a chance to put Mewtwo in any game they freaking can.
Yeah, but
any
like
Pokemon game.
Yeah, but like neither are like half the starters or all of the starters except Charizard and the three new ones, and
that's what I'm saying.
They don't miss that.
Like all these fan favorite Pokemon.
Then just delay the game. It's like that's so cheap. That's such a cheap way to keep me playing your dumb unfinished game.
But that's what live service games do.
They
release and then they have events and they add content. That's what Destiny does. That's why Destiny is a good game. And it's why it keeps people hooked. It's why pretty much any live service game that adopts that model, it keeps people playing, and ultimately that's what they want, is they want to keep you playing.
So you're saying this Pokemon is the first live service Pokemon game, and it's launching bare bones like any other live service game, and you feel like by the time the next Pokemon game comes out, everybody will see this Pokemon as a triumph, or like just as a different game that ended up being better than it was? Like Anthem, you're saying this game is releasing unfinished.
Oh God, do not.
No. You're saying this game. No, what you're saying is that this game is releasing unfinished, and they're going to add content over time to keep me invested.
I don't think that's what I'm saying at all.
You heard it here, folks. Trexsol says that this is the Anthem of Pokemon games. I'm just messing.
I think that they're releasing a Pokemon game. I mean, there's 8 gyms. There's a champion that you got to beat, and there's Pokemon that you got to collect. At the end of the day, that's what a Pokemon game is. You go through, you fight the gyms, you fight the elite, whatever, and then you fill out your decks, and congrats, you played Pokemon. You can get into competitive if you want, but I mean, it's been asked to get into lately. I think that, there's a possibility that, and I said this before and I'll say it again, what they've shown us in the trailers that they've released, I mean, this is already proven just with the leaks. They've been holding back stuff, and they have intentionally not shown us a lot of what's in the game for it to be a surprise. And if they're taking that approach with it, I can see them kind of just adding content throughout the game, because this isn't stuck on a handheld anymore. Switch is a console.
Yeah,
this is the first console Pokemon game mainline series. They can patch things now. With a handheld, it's harder to do. You could do it over Wi-Fi, but it's a freaking handheld. Switch is practically a console, so I can see that happening, and that's something I hope happens. That's kind of my cautious optimism. Either way, I think the game as is, like I said, the 400 Pokemon, that doesn't matter to me.
Nah.
I look forward to like making a new team anyways, and yeah, little Timmy out there is not gonna have his favorite Pokemon, but every Pokemon game doesn't have every Pokemon in it.
I mean, it's true. It's true. They haven't ever done that before, so I'm with you.
They've never, and like they're at like what 1,000 and what Pokemon now? Like they're not gonna put 1,000 and something Pokemon in a freaking Pokemon game. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen anytime soon. Every Pokemon game that they release is not gonna have every Pokemon ever.
It's just it's the fact, like I will defend people that are offended by Dexit though. Like, what's the fucking slogan, Trex? Gotta catch 'em all. Like,
yeah, that was when the game was at 150 Pokemon, and they fucking stuck it on themselves.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the the whole series, I feel like it's just bigger than what they can handle right now. I feel like the series
I
has
would agree
gotten
with
out of
that.
control. I think that it needs to do. Honestly, this is gonna sound. I'm not comparing the two games, but I'm saying that like the Call of Duty series does a really good job with yearly releases by giving multiple studios access to their, like they give multiple studios the Call of Duty name and say make something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can cut that one out. Sorry. I like they let everybody develop multiple Call of Duty games. So why don't they just do that with this one? Because there've been plenty of other Pokemon games that people like. Mystery Dungeon is great. Pokemon Coliseum was great. The XD game's great. Like lots of Pokemon games have been good. I just think that like at this point they need to, if they're gonna do something different, I would say just be different. Like Let's Go ended up being a ton of fun. Like there wasn't a lot to the game at the end. I had a great time playing Let's Go.
Let's Go was bare bones as shit.
It was, but like the bones were fun to play. I think even though it was another Kanto game, like don't take us back there.
But you can't say Sword and Shield is bare bones if you enjoyed Let's Go, because
Well-
Let's Go is literally more bare bones than Sword and Shield is going to be.
No, well, yeah, that's true, but Let's Go was something different. It was like it wasn't like what didn't offend me about Let's Go is that it's not it's not the main series. So I wasn't expecting anything out of Let's Go. Like Let's Go was always going to be the Pokemon Go crossover episode, It was never going to be like something that was going to blow me away. My expectations for Let's Go were way way lower than when you say, "Hey, we have a mainline series game." Like my expectations are obviously way higher for that. So that's where the difference is. Like I'm one of those people that gets my expectations stupid high, and I'm let down by almost everything, right? I mean like my therapist says I need to work on it. I'm working on it. But like I don't know. That's the difference there to me is like the fun to expectations ratio was different. If that is a valid point.
I mean, I think honestly that's kind of where the difference between me and you lie is. I've always been cautiously optimistic. I feel like that about every game, honestly. And like the trailers, I was like, I'm not gonna have high hopes, but the leaks came out, and I was like, oh, this seems kind of cool. I'm just gonna go into it with neutral expectations. I guess you heard mainline Pokemon game, and you're like, fuck yes, let me see everything.
Well, I was just like, I let my mind run wild. And
Yeah,
I have learned
yeah.
I have learned a lesson with Game Freak now, and that is don't let your mind run wild. Don't expect big things from them. Be surprised by the things they make when they surprise you. But my expectations for Game Freak as of right now, and the reviews for Pokemon would have to be stellar for me to buy this game. Like everybody that plays this game from now until the release date would have to like make it like an hour-long video explaining to me why it's the best game in the universe for me to like buy it day one. My expectations for Game Freak are very low at this point. I've learned my lesson. I've been burned. I'm officially burned by the Pokemon series. It just hurts so much, and I've talked so much because it just hurts so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone gets it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's super hardcore fans of Pokemon, which you are, and you expect the top-notch things going into it, and they didn't deliver all the things that you wanted them to deliver on, and I think it's totally acceptable to be kind of let down by that and disappointed.
And you know what I think, Trex? I think it's totally okay to be excited about this game. I think we're both right, man. I just do, and I know that sounds stupid. I just think that I don't think there's a wrong way to look at this game. I'm excited for the people that are excited about this game because I want them to have a ton of fun with Pokemon because it's Pokemon. Like the more people that get this game, that like this game, it just means that Pokemon can keep being Pokemon. I don't know. I hope people have fun with it. I just am not excited,
Yeah, and I mean, this is pre-release recording.
Right. I haven't touched the game.
We won't know until the game's out. I mean, it's out in the wild. There's leaks about it, but as far as how you and I would feel playing the game, we're not gonna know until it's out in the public's hands and you can hear multiple perspectives about the game.
Yeah.
Because even from the leaker, I haven't like actually heard his impressions of the game other than
yeah, that's another
400
thing.
Pokemon.
Like that's
Like
huge.
he didn't say if the game was fun or anything.
Yeah, I think and Nintendo's really going after that stuff now. Like we were talking about that before we hit record, but like yeah, they're really going after it. I don't know, it'll be interesting. You'll have to let us know. We should do like a retrospective on this video in like a month and say, hey, were we right? Were we wrong?
Yeah, I mean that'll be interesting.
It'll be who was right, who was wrong.
I mean, I think at the end of the day we're both gonna be right. There's stuff that Game Freak could have done to make this game better, and at the same time, it's still gonna be a Pokemon game. And if you like Pokemon, you're probably gonna like this game, no matter what. There's not really anything they can do to screw up the Pokemon formula.
That's true.
If you like Pokemon, this is a Pokemon game. Go at it.
Yeah.
But where's that Pokemon MMO at?
Oh my god, I know, right? We need that.
I said you had a quote you wanted to end on?
I did. One more thing before I get to the quote though is to anybody that's like, well, why don't they just delay the game and put more Pokemon in the game? I don't think the game has like I don't think it has the structure for that. I think that the game is built around 400 Pokemon, and if the game was actually built around the almost 1,000 Pokemon, right? Like, it would have to be gigantic, and this game's just not. Like, it can't possibly fit everything. Like, you can't, like, every patch of grass would have to have, like, 5 Pokemon in it. Like, the map is big, but the map won't have, like, it's not, like, just, this game can't hold all the Pokemon, I don't think. I just don't think it's possible.
That, and, like I said, I do think that they're trying to, like, I keep bringing this up, but I really do feel like they're trying to make competitive more casual. Like, casual people can get into competitive, and you can't balance 1,000 Pokemon.
No, you cannot.
Like, I don't even know if you can balance 400. I mean, there's obviously going to be the best Pokemon out of the 400, but at least you have a smaller pool to like work with there.
Right. I mean, if Overwatch can't balance almost 30 heroes, I mean, you think Game Freak can balance 400? Oh my god. Yeah. So just stop it. Get some help if that's bugging you so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found a quote on the Pokemon subreddit by you Kryptonite the other day, yesterday. It's one of the top posts on the subreddit right now, and it's titled "Seems like we are once again spinning out of control. So don't forget, you are entitled to your money, you are entitled to your opinion, you are allowed to like the game, and you are allowed to dislike the game. You're allowed to participate in the boycott. You're allowed to not participate in the boycott. Regardless of your opinion on the game, you are not entitled. You are neither a better or worse person for buying or not buying the game. You're under no obligation to put your money where your mouth is. There's no such thing as a true fan or a false fan. You are the customer. It's your money. We're all a member of the same community. You do what you want and let other people do what they want. Don't be mean to other people. Don't gatekeep. Stay hydrated. Like, it's a good quote. I think it kind of sums up exactly how I feel about it. It's like, I'm pissed, but I'm glad you're happy about it.
Yeah.
Or optimistic.
My hope is that once the game comes out, and obviously I'm going to stream it, probably make videos about it, whatever.
Probably make me buy it.
My hope is that you can not like just see me playing it and buy it, but like see the game and there's something in there that like switches that switch in your brain for you that's like, oh, that looks fun. Like it's not just a disappointment to you anymore, or it's not a regret by it, but like there's something genuinely in the game that like will hook you, and other people that kind of like feel like Game Freak kind of let them down. Like I hope that they as a company can like turn it around and put out a decent game, for God's sake.
That'd be awesome, man. I would love that feeling. For that to happen, they'd probably have to take out the Apple Pokemon, but
dude, that Pokemon looks so that Pokemon looks so cool, the evolution.
Flapple?
Dude, that Pokemon is freaking lit. Freaking Impidimps evolution. Okay, dude, okay, we're not talking about the freaking design, because those freaking designs, oh my god,
they're cool. They're cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in the game. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in the game. I'm excited to see where it goes, honestly. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Pokemon? Are you not excited? What are you excited for? What are you kind of let down by? Let us know in the comments down below. You can follow us on our socials to keep up with how we're feeling about the game once it releases. I'll be streaming it. Parker will, if he buys it,
I'll
he'll
be
stream
watching.
it. He'll be watching. Keep up with our Twitters for any more information coming out about Pokemon. And with that, this has been Mini Chat. Peace.
Bye.